Hey guys, Mike here. So today's cult classic review is 1973's Enter the Dragon, starring Bruce Lee as Lee. Lee is a martial artist who agrees to go undercover to spy on this reclusive drug lord, and Lee uses an invitation to a tournament to get inside his base of operations. And so we have Enter the Dragon. So guys, this is a movie in this series before watching and reviewing it today. I had not seen it before. And to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of these really old martial arts movies. So, what did I think of Enter the Dragon? Well, the first and main thing you really have to praise Enter the Dragon, and movies like it, is giving inspiration to modern filmmakers. Because without movies like this, you wouldn't have anything like The Raid, Oldboy, John Wick, anything like that. And you can definitely see in movies like this where modern filmmakers get their inspiration from. And this movie is a prime example about why Bruce Lee was one of the greatest martial artists who ever lived. But honestly, I did find that his fighting style actually did kind of conflict with his character. Because towards the start of the film, he kind of instills this teaching upon people where he says that you need to avoid combat unless absolutely necessary. But when push comes to shove, you need to fight back. Though he doesn't directly say that, that is sometimes how it comes across. Though I'd say my biggest problem with that is that when he's actually fighting, it feels like he's a completely different character. Because instead of being this humble, peaceful guy, it seems like he really relishes in killing people. He's ridiculously brutal and ruthless when it comes to fighting. And as well as that, he seems to forget his own teachings at certain points. Like towards the start of the film, he tells one of his students, never take your eye off your opponent, even when bowing to him. And then like 20 to 30 minutes later on in the movie, he does just that. As he's bowing to his opponent, he just looks down and takes his eyes off him. And I'm just like, well, why even have that in it if you're not going to do it yourself? For me personally, it means one of two things. The first one being the filmmakers forgot he said that and they just kept it in anyway. Or maybe that his character, when he's actually fighting, he's so arrogant that he feels he can just take his eyes off his opponent and he'll still win. But realistically, I do think it's more of the inconsistency thing than it is the arrogant thing. And really, besides the excellent martial arts displayed in Enter the Dragon, I wouldn't say that this movie really has anything else going for it. It's barely interesting as a spy thriller. It doesn't really have many twists or turns or anything that you don't see coming. The acting's not really that great. And overall, I would say this movie didn't really leave much of an impression on me. Honestly, nowadays, I think we are absolutely spoiled with great, excellently well choreographed action movies these days. Like Upgrade, Extraction, John Wick, The Raid, Oldboy, everything like that. When only about 5 or 10 years ago, the majority of action movies would all do ridiculously stupid shaky cam, which really wouldn't help to show off the excellent work that the trainers, stunt performers, and everyone put into making the action so entertaining. Because if you can't see the action, then what's the point of even watching it? But at least in these old martial arts movies, you can see everything that goes on, and you can tell that the performers put 100% effort into everything they do in these movies. And that is something, again, you can definitely praise these old martial arts movies for. So guys, would I consider Enter the Dragon a personal cult classic, and would I recommend that you guys should see it? Honestly, like I said, this movie didn't really leave much of an impression on me. Again, other than the great action in this movie really has nothing else going for it. And back in its day, this movie was definitely one of the pinnacles of great martial arts movies. But nowadays, I would say filmmakers have just got so much better at displaying martial arts and action and everything like that, that movies like this just come across a bit lackluster. So for all these reasons, I wouldn't consider this one a personal cult classic, though I can fully see why people love this movie so much, and it definitely has a lot to offer. But as for whether or not you guys should see it, the only reason I would really say that you should watch this movie is to see where modern filmmakers get their inspiration from. Because when it comes to anything, I would say that it's definitely important to know your history. And seeing movies like this and studying them definitely helps in that. But aside from that, I probably wouldn't really recommend this one. Okay guys, that's my cult classic review of Enter the Dragon. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Whatever you think, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!